Welcome back to Made for More. I am your host, Holly J. Moore. I am a divorce lawyer on a mission to help you use the adversity and difficult things in your life to help you grow and show up as the best version of yourself. Here, as the Gelman to my Regis, is Aaron Bender, my producer.
Beautiful smile, ready to go, huh? We're going to get a dental exam today. Right?
Well,
I saw a dentist on the schedule. We're supposed to be doing a podcast.
My dentist will be in the house in, just a few minutes. And
you couldn't schedule this for afterward?
Well, I'm not getting my teeth worked on. We're going to talk to him about smiles because I'll tell you how this all came about.
Yes, please.
So I had posted this picture on my Instagram, and it's a picture of me with like my mouth wide open, which
Do you have this picture, by the way?
Well,
not on you, but you send it to me. I'll put it in the episode
I'll
right
give it
here.
to you, and we'll flash it up.
Okay.
And even more people will see like my big ass mouth wide open. And what's really funny is like I actually got several DMs of people saying like, "Who's your dentist? Like this is beautiful." But I showed the picture to my dentist going, "What is going on here? Like I don't like the way this looks and that looks, and like what is happening?" Because I saw all the flaws in the picture. And so when I asked my dentist that, he like just started spewing out all this information about smiles.
Can of worms.
Yes, but he started talking about like the psychology of a smile, and like an open smile means this and a closed smile means that. And like, I was like, you have to be on the podcast and talk about smiles. This is really interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited about this because his email alone had me smiling.
Well, for a dentist, he's got quite the personality.
Yeah, what do you mean for a dentist?
I know, that was not
What
nice.
do you mean about that?
Well, actually, my kid's dentist has a great personality.
Okay.
So maybe that was a off comment.
Okay. All right. Well, you could ask him. Like, do you have a decent personality for a dentist?
Right. Well, I kind of think about like, who wants to be a dentist? Because in my view, like going to the dentist is just like going in for pain.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Like I want to be the people. I want to be the doctor people dread seeing. Yay.
Right.
That's great.
Right. But you know what? I've actually never made this connection before, but I mean, maybe it's similar to being a divorce lawyer. Like who wants to, like, I'm also bringing the pain. Dang. I am here today with my very own dentist, Dr. Mark Harris, DDS. Dr. Harris, thank you for being here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited too, because normally I'm talking to you like, ha, 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 ha,
very true, very true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can talk with, nothing in my mouth.
Exactly.
So one of the times I was at the dentist, I happened to show you a picture of me smiling.
Yes.
And I had posted this picture on Instagram, and people actually like DM'd me saying, "Who's your dentist? This is
awesome.
Great." Yes. But the reason I was showing you is because I was like, what is going on here? Like I saw all the flaws.
Yeah.
And you proceeded to go into this big dissertation about smiles.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do, yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about smiles and what they mean. Yes.
Talk smiles.
Yes.
Brighter smiles.
Brighter smiles, yes. So one of the things you were talking about is like kind of the different types of smiles and what they signal to other people. Would that be the right way to say it?
Yeah. I think the different way that you express your smile, it really expresses emotions in different ways.
Okay.
And also expresses like your personality type.
Yes.
So I have a friend of mine who does not like the way his teeth look. Mm-hmm. They're crooked and they're yellow. And so every family picture you see him and he's like this.
Right. But psychologically, like us looking at somebody else with a smile like that signals something, right?
It feels very closed off. Like this isn't somebody that you would walk up to in a social situation or at the airport and say like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Right.
You're more looking for the person that has a little more of an open, exaggerated smile because they feel like they're more open to that than somebody that's sitting there going like,
Yeah. Okay. And you, when we were having this conversation originally, you were talking about how like an open smile means something versus, like showing teeth, not showing teeth, mouth open, like all the different things. So tell us about that.
So like Justin Timberlake's my most recent example that I love. If you look at Justin Timberlake's smiles or Taylor Swift, like most of their smiles are big and exaggerated. They're not just like this.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And so it just like exudes passion and intensity.
Oh, got it. Okay. Do you think they smile like that on purpose to send certain?
I think so.
Okay.
But I think they're also that intense and that passionate. Oh. So I don't think it's something you really fake.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
The mid-range smile is like the smile where they're like,
right.
You know,
Yes. Okay.
like my wife even has a fake smile.
Oh, okay.
Like sometimes we're taking pictures somewhere and I go, no, not the fake smile, not the real smile.
The real one.
Yeah.
So that kind of begs the question, do you think people are intentional about their smile? Or do you think it's just organic?
I think it's organic, and I think it's really a reflection of how they feel about their smile. So when people are comfortable in their smile, I think they're much more open to express it, show it, etc. But when they have reservations about it, they tend to want to hide it more. With men, the biggest tell is men with facial hair.
What do you mean?
More than half the time, if you see a man with facial hair, good chance there's something they're trying to hide
Oh, really?
with their smile a lot of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I disagree.
Wait, Dad, do you have it? Yes, you do have facial hair.
Yes.
Oh.
Like we have this great before and after picture of this patient that had lost one of his front teeth. He was at a Christian rock concert and it got rowdy.
Oh my God,
Somebody
it got rowdy?
Yeah. And
Wow.
so he grew this big beard to
Passion
cover it
for
up.
Jesus right there.
Total passion.
Yes.
But as soon as he had an implant to replace his tooth, shaved all the facial hair off.
Really?
Very different, yeah.
That's so interesting. Huh. Okay, so one of the things I learned just from you sending us like some talking points for the show is people used to have perfect teeth naturally. What?
Straight teeth, yeah.
Okay, straight teeth. Maybe they were yellow.
They were yellow.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
You know, the British coming to America,
Right.
totally yellow teeth.
Okay, but they used to be straight.
The arch form was very straight because the diet was very different. We were eating more raw foods, proteins directly from bones. The way we manipulated our lips, our cheeks, our tongues was very different. So you really didn't start to see teeth that were out of place until after the American Revolution, basically. We started to have more processed foods.
crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow. So it's so basically our teeth have gotten like crooked because of environmental factors.
Yeah.
Okay, but job security for
Behaviors,
you.
Total job security.
Yeah. So you're like, yeah, bring it on.
I mean, 80% of adults have some sort of malocclusion where their teeth are not straight, their bites
Really?
off, or something like that now.
Huh. Are you seeing more adults getting braces these days?
A lot more adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
People are just more aware of their smiles. It's the flash photography on an iPhone is not flattering to anybody.
Yeah.
The
that's
flash
very
over
true.
flashes it shows way too much.
Oh, okay. Wow. So, okay. So you talked about how, and I love your Instagram page because it's very entertaining.
Thanks.
Like I've teased you before, like you may have missed your calling. Maybe you should have gone into like stand up or acting or something.
No. Most of that's the team. They get me riled up.
Well, yeah, but you're the one doing it.
But they force me to. When you work with 6 women, they force you to do a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's a lock on our thermostat in the office, and it's for a reason.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yes. Well, you do it very well. Forced or not forced, you do it very well. But one of the things you do is you kind of like analyze celebrity smiles, which is really fun.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I've learned from you is like Julia Roberts sort of changed
everything.
Changed everything.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
So with Julia Roberts' smile, everybody thinks back to Pretty Woman, Richard Gere,
Yes.
great movie.
Yes.
And her smile is just so broad and wide. I mean, she smiles and you can see her second molars all the way in the back, you know?
Right.
And it's wild because before that, you had these smaller, narrower smiles. You had the 80s where people embraced things like Madonna's teeth, with the gap. She had short, stubby teeth.
Right.
But Julia Roberts, everybody's like, I want that. You know, they
Yeah.
wanted white teeth. And what's funny is that Julia Roberts had, during one of her acceptance speeches for an Academy Award or something, she mentioned her dentist as a child.
Oh, really?
She did. She said, my dentist in my small hometown said if anybody from his practice ever won like a big award on a national stage, he would give like free toothpaste and toothbrushes to every kid in the town.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's funny. So she mentioned her dentist
Wow.
on stage.
Oh my gosh. That is really funny.
Yeah.
So are her teeth based on your expert opinion, is that her natural
I
teeth?
believe those are her natural teeth.
Okay.
She may have had a little bit of work here and there, maybe some whitening. I don't really think she had any orthodontics to straighten her teeth. But yeah, from what I know, her smile is completely natural.
Wow. Okay. So basically we all saw that. We're like, that looks beautiful.
I want that.
I want that.
Yep.
Wow. And that was kind of the birth of cosmetic dentistry, would you
It really
say?
seems like the 90s when it really got jump started. People were more aware of whitening their teeth.
Yeah.
It seems like printer paper got whiter. Remember you used to buy paper? It was like
Yes.
this, and then it's like, oh, brighter
That's
printer
true.
paper.
That's very true. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So when did you become a dentist?
I have to think real quick. I went to dental school in 1999. I graduated in 2003.
Okay.
So I've been a dentist for a little over 20 years now. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think our teeth and our smile, like how does that affect our confidence and our ability to kind of like show up as the best version of ourselves?
I think it expresses a lot of emotion, the way you use your teeth, the way you smile, obviously the way you talk to people, the way you enunciate even. This is one of the things that people don't think about until they lose teeth. You start to lisp and you start to enunciate words incorrectly. And it's hard because it shatters your confidence. Sometimes when we do smile makeovers, if we've corrected some things that the patient had gotten used to, their tongue position had been so used to pronouncing 51, 52, 53, 61. And so they have to relearn that. So what we recommend is they usually take like a magazine and just practice 10 or 15 minutes a day for a couple weeks in quiet time. Because when they're out in the public, they don't want to feel self-confident about it.
Right.
But if they practice in the quiet time, they're much better off and they're much more confident with it.
Wow. So I had never thought about that it can affect your speech. It can affect, it affects so many things.
Because if you're missing like 2 or 3 teeth in the front, you start to speak, you start to use your tongue to fill those spaces to end the speech or create the cadence you're trying to create with it. As an attorney, talking is very important.
Talking is very important. Yes, yes. We'd probably all be better off if lawyers talked a little bit less, but yes, that's kind of our thing. So have you seen with social media, now it's like, I feel like I can't get away from my face. I see it everywhere.
Yep.
Like, do you think with the advent of social media and we're all posting pictures of ourselves and things like that and looking at other people, do you think that has sort of upped the ante on people wanting to fix their teeth or their smile or something like that?
I think so. I think the biggest change that I've seen that I've had a hard time getting used to as a dentist is 25 years ago when I was in dental school, we took all of these classes to learn how to match natural teeth, to, create imperfections in the tooth, to make it look natural. But now it's like people are so brand oriented. It's been driven by culture, but also social media that like, it's almost like they want you to know that their teeth are fake.
What?
They want them wider.
Is that why all those veneers look ridiculous?
They want them wider than natural because it's like they want you to know they had the money to pay for their teeth.
Oh my God, it's becoming a status thing?
Well, think about it. It's like if you go to Patagonia and you buy a $300 puffy jacket, there's a teeny tiny logo on it. Nobody ever cuts that logo off. They want you to know that it's a Patagonia.
Yes.
They want you to know that they paid for their teeth. Wow. So it's really hard because like I'll choose a shade for a patient when we have the latitude to choose whatever shade if we're doing multiple teeth.
Yeah.
And I'll pick a shade and they're like,
a little wider.
And I'm like, well, age appropriate.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't care. I want that color.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that is fascinating because I was talking in the glam chair actually about this and we were talking about some people that we see where it's like, yeah, obviously those are veneers. Like they look ridiculous.
I totally agree. And I know
oh my gosh,
but
that's what people want.
Like we have a shade guide that goes from 1 to 5 on lightness and has variants of hue. Like is it more yellows, browns, oranges in their teeth? And then that was what we used for a long time. But about 10 years ago, they came out with a 0 shade. Oh. It's like a bleach shade. And patients want that.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Do you tell them? Now I'm thinking back to all the times where I've had a crown and they're like, what shade do you want? I'm like, did I choose the shade that's too white?
Yeah.
Did I?
It's what's right for you. There's no wrong, wrong shade.
Oh my God.
I think the real key, though, with the lighter shades that we've found is that in the old school days, the shading and the porcelain work that was done at the lab was very monochromatic. So it was like a chiclet. It was like one color across the whole thing.
A chiclet, yes.
So what we find is the lab that we work with, it's a family-owned lab. It's a local lab, so it's not somewhere else because that's one of the dirty secrets we'll talk about later.
Oh.
Is that they do every shade custom for us. Okay. So we basically tell them we want like a nice gingival color here. We draw out proportions. We want 40% of it to be this, and they want a nice translucent edge in it. So you can get away with the light shades if you have a lot of these other natural things built into it.
Okay.
But lots of these large corporate labs, they don't do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or the sweatshop labs. That's the dirty secret.
Oh.
So I remember back in like the 90s when sweatshops and like
Yeah.
people were all up in arms about like where their clothes were made. You know, oh, I don't want my sweatshirt being made in a sweatshop.
In China.
That's terrible. Well, these are things you put on your skin, right? Think about what you put in your mouth.
What?
There are sweatshop dental labs.
No!
I'm not kidding you.
Really?
There's labs in China because think about it. You can order something now digitally and have it the next day from other countries.
Oh my
So lots of the
gosh.
dental stuff that's gone digital, we can do a scan of somebody's mouth for a crown,
Yeah.
send that to China. It could be here in 48 hours.
Oh my gosh.
But if you see some of the working conditions and how disgusting and the rodent stuff in these.
What?
It's terrible.
And they're making our teeth.
It's terrible.
That are in our mouth.
And not even just overseas. We're talking even locally. Like we had a patient one time who asked me, because patients rarely ask about the lab.
Right, I would never think to
this patient
ask about the lab.
What lab do you use here in Riverside? I said, well, we use a lab, Iverson Dental. They've been around for 30 plus years, family owned, local here in Riverside. He goes, oh, okay, good. I was like, do you mind if I ask why? He goes, well, I'm an inspector, and I was inspecting some labs, he said, in North Riverside. A little rougher area. And he goes, and it was disgusting. And I just thought, I hope my crown's not being made in one of those places.
I would have never thought about that.
Yeah.
Wow. And is it a cost thing? It saves
Yeah.
obviously.
I mean, think about it.
It's always a cost
The
thing.
past 5 years, we've seen inflation like probably no other in time, right? So as these offices are having to trim away, they're like, where can I cut my costs? So like, well, instead of sending it to this beautiful lab that's white glove.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I've had patients go to our lab for like custom shades.
Okay.
And they come back, they're like, that place is beautiful. It's immaculate. I was like, yeah, I mean, they're top end stuff. You don't want the sweatshop down the street, but nobody ever asked about the lab.
I know. I would never, that is not like something in my awareness even, you know? Wow, that is crazy.
Dirty secrets.
Yeah. Hashtag dirty dental secrets.
Dirty dental secrets.
DDS.
We have more.
Oh my God, what's another dirty secret?
Man.
I mean, maybe you don't want to reveal.
I don't want to reveal. There's so many dirty dental secrets about insurance, but we're not even going to go down that road.
Let's not go down that road. Let's talk about the positive side, which is, so like if somebody, we actually had somebody that worked here at the firm for a few years, and she came from basically like dental implant sales. Okay. Yeah. So, and I recall her talking about how huge somebody's smile is, you know, and their teeth, because they'll go around talking
you see that
like
a lot
this.
of the time.
You see that,
And the mask made it worse because now people that had bad teeth, when COVID started, they're like, oh, well, I have to wear a mask anyways now.
Oh my God.
Like we had a lady who came in and she goes, I've been wearing a mask for 2 years, even though I don't need to anymore, to keep my teeth hidden from my children.
Really?
Yeah. We have a lady coming in about 2 weeks to do a full mouth rehab of her upper arch of teeth.
Okay.
And what's funny is that her daughter came with her to the appointment to kind of give her some confirmation as far as, Mom, you should do this. So they agree. They said this is going to be great. And the grandmother goes, at least the grandkids won't call me Mrs. Clampett anymore.
Oh my gosh.
They had nicknamed her after a Beverly Hillbilly because she had broken off one of her front teeth.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I am never going to judge somebody wearing a mask again because I
never know what's underneath.
You never know. Oh my gosh. Wow. So, okay, people that have, because I guess maybe this is also like maybe the other stigma that I have in my mind is when I see people with like really, you know, a bad teeth situation, like I kind of assume drugs. Is that?
What's funny is I saw a attorney today. And I did tell them I was going to. She goes, you're doing a podcast with a family law attorney? Why?
Yeah, duh.
Duh. And she was mentioning that she was in court recently. And the opposing party, I don't know if that's proper terminology, the lawyer said, Judge, just look at her teeth. She's still on drugs. So,
Exhibit A! Oh my God.
There are some cases where, you can tell meth mouth is a real big thing.
Yeah.
And the way that it affects your teeth is that you stop producing saliva because your autonomic nervous system is just out of balance. And so when you don't produce saliva, stuff sticks where it shouldn't. So they get all these black lesions right at the root of their teeth and just rot away.
Wow.
But what's funny is there must be like an underground current of information because once they get clean from meth, they all know like roughly the dollar amount to get their teeth fixed.
Really?
And they come in for full mouth rehab. I'm like, oh, you've been clean for 2 years? That's awesome. They're like, yeah, I was saving up I knew it was going to be about this much. Got my teeth fixed. I was like,
Really?
pretty close.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Pretty close.
Wow. So do you see some of that in your practice?
We do. One of the first full mouth rehab cases I ever did when I first graduated from dental school was a meth mouth case.
Wow.
She had lost some teeth and she had made some bad decisions.
Yeah.
Fortunately, on the other side of family law, she had married a very good man who said, we got to get your teeth fixed. So they did a bunch of work, some augmentations and some other stuff.
Yeah. Full makeover.
Full makeover.
Head to toe.
But 6 months later, when she came back for like her follow-up, we looked at her teeth, see how everything was. She's like, Dr. Harris, thank you so much. Like, I love my teeth. It's like, it's changed everything for me. I feel so much more confident. She goes, the other stuff, it's okay.
Yeah. The boobs are okay, but the teeth.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, think about what it tells somebody. It's like, if all this is great, but this is wrong, it's like something just doesn't match.
Right.
And so like, it's like something doesn't jive. I just don't understand why they would take care of this, but they wouldn't take care of their teeth.
Well, and also, I mean, I guess unless you're going around like this or with a mask, like you can't put clothes on your teeth. So
I'm sure somebody will figure a way out.
Yes, yeah. But it's a lot harder and cumbersome.
Way harder.
Yeah. Like, I mean, let's talk about that. I think you said like your face is your smile is your billboard.
It is.
Yeah. It's really like the first thing people see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now that we're not wearing masks anymore, not a lot of covering on the face or the smile or the teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
We hired somebody recently, and we do video interviews now for one of the early rounds.
Okay.
And one of the candidates didn't smile at all during the video interview. I'm like, you're applying at a dental office. You know that, right?
Right.
And she was just so like stoic. I was like, that's not somebody we want in our office if she's not happy to be on an interview.
Right. Yes. That's funny because Teresa, she's filling in for my other makeup artist. And so today is like her first day in the office. And she's like, is everybody happy because it's Friday or like what's going on? I'm like, well, what do you mean? She's like, well, everybody seems so happy. I'm like, yeah, it's just another day. Like what, we can't be hiring Debbie Downers. Like, yeah.
The culture's huge.
Right. It is. Yeah. So, okay. So let's say somebody is not feeling super confident about their smile or their teeth or whatever. What do they do?
So typically it depends. Like, how bad is it? Because some people come in, they're like, my smile's terrible and all my teeth are fixed. I look at their teeth, I'm like, you maybe need to whiten your teeth.
Oh, and that's it. Yeah.
We had a lady come in one time. She goes, I need veneers on all my front teeth. I looked at her teeth. I said, you need to straighten your teeth a little bit and whiten them. That's it. But then some cases are real bad.
Yeah.
We had a case come in this week. The lady was terrified. You could tell she looked like angry almost in the lobby. But it was really just fear. That's the way people manifest fear sometimes. They just look mad.
Yeah.
And then when she was in the chair, she was like scratching at her hand like the whole time.
Yeah.
So you could tell she was just very nervous. So my team kind of works with the patient for a little while first and then tells me kind of where the patient's at in their journey.
Yeah.
So if they're not there yet, we're not going to force them to get there.
Right.
We just want to kind of build a little trust, maybe identify 2 or 3 easy things that we can work on first. So for this lady, she had 1 infected tooth and 3 wisdom teeth that weren't doing her any favors. So let's get those out. Now the 4 front teeth on the bottom that I know are going to come out soon, she's not there yet. So we're going to work her way there.
Okay.
So it's like we want to put out all the forest fires first for those firemen.
Yes. A joke for Jeff. Yeah.
Then from there we kind of go up the ladder a little bit. Now we want to look at the arch form. See if we can just stabilize the bite so they're not missing any teeth. It's kind of like a 3-legged stool. If you're missing a bunch of teeth on one side, you only have teeth here and here. It's like a 2-legged stool. A 2-legged stool is not very stable. Yeah. And then up from there, like, what's the smile you always wanted?
Right.
Did you always want whiter teeth? Did you want bigger teeth? What do you want to do? It's just listening to the patient and find out what their why is.
Yeah.
Some people just care about function. I just want to be able to eat until the day I die. I don't want to wear dentures like my parents did. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Some people are like, I want a Hollywood smile. So there's a wide range in between there, but there's lots of options.
So something that I hadn't really thought of until sort of preparing to do this podcast is like we as lay people, not as dental experts, maybe, you did say some people want function, but I think maybe we don't understand completely like how the mouth functions.
Sure.
And sometimes we're just like, the teeth that you could see, make those pretty. I don't care what's going on in the back. But that is problematic, right?
Oh, very problematic. People come in all the time. There's a teeny tiny chip on a front tooth, but the house is burning down in the back. There's
Oh my God.
teeth,
Really?
teeth, and even though as a dentist, like I know that needs to be fixed first.
Yes.
You have to address their chief complaints. Because if you
Right.
don't, the patient does not feel heard. And that's the main thing that people have issues with healthcare now. They go to the doctor, and how many times do you go to the doctor and they barely make eye contact with you because they're just
Right.
on the computer?
Yeah.
Because there's 35 screens they have to get through to get your prescription.
Right.
They're not
Yes.
writing it out and handing it to you like the
Right.
old days. So.
Wow, it's very psychological, the whole like dental thing. I didn't know. Wow. So I had another question. What was it? Okay, I wanted to talk about the functionality of it. Oh, this is my burning question.
Go for it.
Have you ever like had something where you're like, "Ugh, I can't do anything for you?
Maybe one time.
Okay.
So talking about fear and the way it manifests in people when they really just have dental anxiety, this patient literally tried to fight me.
Oh my God, what?
She did.
Really?
And there's a woman too. Like,
Oh my
and
gosh.
women are always like the most aggressive with the dental fear.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I've had a woman say, "You hurt me, I hurt you."
What?
And you can think about like where they're sitting in the
Right,
chair. and
yeah.
I'm like, really?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
this woman like tried to physically like get in my face.
Wait,
And
why do you think dental fear is more prevalent in women?
I don't know if it's more prevalent in women.
Or-
I think women are just better at expressing it.
Oh.
Men hold
The
it in
men are
lot.
like,
they just
"I'm
don't,
tough."
They just don't go.
Yeah.
They just don't go.
Right.
I mean, we have so many patients that like, I'm like, "How's your husband doing?"
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in 10 years.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Huh. So the lady tried to fight you.
Yeah.
So, but is that why you couldn't do anything for her?
That's why I couldn't do anything with her.
Okay. It
I mean,
wasn't because.
No, I mean, the most complex case, let's say somebody's going to lose all of their teeth. They come in and it's just a train wreck.
Right.
We have digital technology now where we can literally go from having no teeth at all to a number of implants and a 3D printed prosthetic device in their mouth within 30 days.
Oh, wow.
We take facial images, we merge it with CBCT images. We place implants at very strategic locations, so we don't have to place 100 implants. We can place like 4 maybe in the top arch, 4 in the bottom arch. But yeah, 3D printing is changing everything right now in dentistry.
Really? Okay. So I used to have dreams all the time that all my teeth were falling out. I
You
think
should
that's
have been a dentist.
I don't know about that. And I'm like, God, one day am I gonna have dentures? Like, are dentures still a thing, or are there
Dentures are still a thing.
Okay.
We don't do a whole lot of dentures, and really the way our practice has evolved, especially the digital technology, if I can't provide a world-class experience, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And with dentures, that's like using 100-year-old technology, and people are used to modern stuff.
Right.
It's like somebody walks in with a nice cell phone, and you're like, hold on, let me pull out this rotary phone and give you this instead.
Right.
And that's what dentures are like. And
Okay, yeah. So we have evolved.
Yeah.
Like the dental industry has evolved beyond dentures.
Way beyond.
It's just the people.
They're still out there, though. There's
Yeah.
still denture labs.
Okay.
The denture labs are shrinking quickly.
Okay, but if one day like all my teeth fall out, I
We
won't
got
have
you.
to. Okay,
We got
you got.
you.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Okay.
We'll scan your teeth now at your next visit.
Okay.
And we'll have an exact copy of what your teeth look like.
Oh,
so
good.
if
Yes.
something horrific happens,
Okay.
we can just print you a new set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But do they stay in all the time, or
They do.
like?
They do.
You don't have to like take them in and
Don't
out.
have to take them in and out at all.
Oh my God, I feel
gonna
so
sleep so
better.
much
I am
better?
gonna sleep so much better for real. Wow. Okay. On that note, I mean, is there anything else that you feel like you need to share about smiles, dentistry, anything?
I think with the biggest thing I've learned in the past 10 years in particular is smile design is mathematical proportions. You know, occasionally we have somebody that comes in and they're not happy with some veneers or crowns that they had done somewhere else.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's just because the mathematical proportions were not taken into account. So I sent some things, I think, to you about the mathematical ratios. It's called the golden proportion.
Yeah.
And the simplest way to explain it is basically when you look at architecture, we look at like an arch form or Roman architecture, lots of art, they use this golden proportion. What it is, it's 1.6 to 1. So when you look at your 2 front teeth, they should be 1.6 times wider than your next tooth.
Really?
And then that next tooth, your lateral tooth, should be 1.6 times wider than your next tooth, the canine, when you're
gosh.
looking straight on.
Okay.
And so you have the width proportion, but then you also have this proportion as far as the height goes.
Okay.
And the height is the one that I see missed a lot. So if somebody has veneers slapped on, they go, oh, my teeth look so short and blocky. And we look at them and I go, well, yeah, because your tooth's a square when it should be more ovoid or have a shape that mimics the shape of your face. Yeah. It's kind of like when you think about sunglasses.
Really?
You know, like you see a pair of sunglasses on your friend, they're like, oh, those look hot. You buy them, you try them on.
Not so much.
Terrible.
Right, yes.
It's because your face and the shape of the glasses needs to kind of mirror that, and your shape of your teeth is the same way.
Oh my God.
So you see a woman with a nice ovoid shape, but somebody slaps some square veneers on her front teeth, you're like, oh, those teeth look very masculine.
Right.
And it's just not quite right.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow, there's so much that goes into it. So, but what is up with those dentists? Why are they not doing the math and the arches and all that?
It's like most things. It's like if you're doing a project at your house, a remodel, painting, whatever, it's all about the planning stages. Most people don't put enough value into the planning stages of anything. And planning for teeth projects, there's a lot of planning. Like that case I told you about, the Mrs. Clampett case.
Yeah.
We've literally seen this patient 3 times, and we haven't even started on our case yet.
Still just getting it all.
We've mocked the case up digitally, so we have it. When I get back to the office this afternoon, I'm going to send her some pictures and a Loom video so her and her daughter can look at them and kind of approve them digitally. There's something about the tactile sensation of our phones. When you send somebody a smile design through their phone that they can look at and they can pinch it and open it and look at the proportions, it allows them to feel what their teeth are going to look like before you ever do it in their mouth.
Wow.
And giving them that ability makes them feel like we're collaborating on the process. It's not like they're going into the dentist and the dentist is taking some x-rays, ignoring them and looking at them on the screen.
Right.
And then just saying, open your mouth, and then slapping something in there. It's like we're working on a project together. And like they're part of the process and they'll say, oh, I want to change this or I'm going to alter this. And it's like, yeah, that's a great idea.
Right. Again, so much of it is psychological.
It is.
Wow. My mind is blown right now. And I know your office in particular, you guys are like heavy on the tech. Like you're very up to speed on all the latest and the greatest.
Not always the latest, because it's kind of like with technology, sometimes you don't want to be on that first wave.
True. Yeah. And you want to wait for them to get all the kinks out.
I think we're semi-close in age. I know you're a little bit younger than me.
Yeah.
But I remember the beta and VHS tapes as a kid. My grandparents had bought the beta player, and then my grandpa was so mad when everybody went to VHS and they had the wrong format. Right. So with digital technology, sometimes you want to stay back a little bit.
Right.
But we try to always really evaluate it. But as soon as something looks like it's amazing and it's going to be incredible for our patients, we're all in.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, if anybody watching or listening wants Dr. Harris to do your smile design, we will make sure to put all of your information in the show notes. And I will just add in, just as a plug for you and your office, that I had like a traumatic childhood dentist. I
didn't know that.
Yes. And I didn't go to the dentist for 10 years when I was first married. Serious.
That's crazy.
I know.
You came in so calm and cool.
No, I didn't.
Really?
Yes. I was going to ask you, like, do the girls come back and go, Holly's wringing her hands, like, get ready, because I am always like,
really?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Yes, and you guys do sedation dentistry. So that's actually why I started with your office, because I'm like, just freaking put me out. Like, put me to sleep. I can't do it. But I actually never needed the sedation dentistry because, it was like you were very personable and like, comforting, and the girls are all great. And, I have to go there every 3 months because I'm always grinding and breaking my teeth. And, so you guys have been a great experience for me over the past, decade or so. Yeah. So just a little plug.
Well, watching your little family grow is like one of the most rewarding things. I have lots of my friends I went to school with that always wanted to specialize. And I'm like, why do you just want to be a general dentist? I'm like, being a specialist has no appeal to me because you don't get to see like these families grow.
Right.
Like watching your 3 little girls grow and like 2 teenagers now.
Yes, I know.
Crazy. From these little tribes you used to bring in, and now they're all fully grown.
Yes.
The funny stories they would share about which parent they would choose if something ever happened.
It's always dad. It's always dad. I know. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you.
I've got just a little bit more to say. Your smile is your billboard. It's your walking resume. It's the first impression that people see. It's what is going to signal, are you open to connecting with someone or not? So make sure that you smile big, show people who you really are, and show up as the best version of yourself. And never forget, you were made for more.